Power of sales are way up. I'll talk about that and then get into the latest home prices and insights for the Peel and Durham region for week ending July the 5th, 2023. You know, in the past, when I'd look for properties for our buyer clients, every now and then, not often, but every now and then, there'd be a power of sale in the neighborhood that we're looking in, and sometimes we'd go see it if the home was suitable for my buyer clients. These days, not a day goes by that I don't see a power of sale in the neighborhood that we're looking in. When I do my own research and I try to figure out a percentage or volume, like how much more power of sales are there? I can't say that this is totally accurate because it's not easy to always find the power of sales. But with the research I've done, comparing the first 6 months of this year versus last year, power of sales across the GTA are up approximately 20%. That's a big number. I mean, we can figure out why. Interest rates are way up, but it's not just interest rates. Everything to do with being alive, living in the GTA or anywhere in this world, but we're talking about the GTA. Expenses are up everywhere. Nothing has become cheaper. Everything has become more expensive. If we're talking about homes, listen, affordability is way more. It's harder now. Homes are less affordable. Monthly payments on your mortgage are way higher. Utility costs, everything costs more. More and more people are feeling the pressure, hence more and more power of sales. If we're talking power of sales, I do want to say something that I believe is extremely important. If you find yourself in a position that you can't afford to maintain your mortgage, it goes without saying, do everything you can to cover your mortgage. Do everything you can to make your payments. Anything you can. I've seen sellers get other jobs, get second jobs, third jobs. I've seen sellers borrow money. I've seen homeowners do all sorts of different things. If you have exhausted all means of keeping up with your payments, and it's inevitable that the bank is going to take over, or whoever the lender is, if it's inevitable, I suggest you sell the home before the lender takes it over. Even if you selling it means you could be selling it at a loss, I guarantee you, if the lender takes over and sells it on your behalf, the loss will be far greater. So I repeat, do everything you can to stay current with your mortgage. But if you can't, and it's inevitable that you're going to lose the home, sell it yourself before the lender does it for you. If you think this video can help somebody you know, pass this message along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, below this video in the description is a link to my calendar. Book a time that's convenient for you and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Let's get into the numbers. You're looking for a luxury multifamily home? Check out the video at the end of this video. So we said power of sales are way up across the region. Well, sales, especially in the Peel and Durham region, are way down. Let's take a closer look. I have here Durham and Brampton. These are for average sold prices. Mississauga. So Durham and Brampton, average sold prices came down. For Mississauga, they went up, and it's kind of going against the grain. I got to tell you what's happening in Mississauga. Now, we've had for week ending July the 5th, the long weekend was in the middle of that. And every time there's a long weekend or a holiday or anything like that, the numbers get skewed a bit one way or another. let's see what's going on here. So we're going to start off with Mississauga. This is for detached properties only. For a week ending July the 5th, sales way down. Now that's a theme across the GTA, but we're seeing quite a bit of sales drop across the Peel and Durham regions. So 40 detached properties were sold. 7 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price, this is kind of hard to understand. Average sold price has shot way up to $1,590,000. 1,590 is 6% higher than where we were a year ago. Median is 5% higher. Now the dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. And if we go back, say 2 months, 3 months, prices have been trending down. Not by a lot, but they have been trending down. Of the 40 that sold, 60% sold at list price or more. And I put a question mark there because that's trending up. There's not a lot of parts of the GTA where that percentage of properties being sold at list price or more is trending up. And before, on some of the previous videos I talked about, we used to have an offer night, and then if that didn't work, then you relist at a higher price, at the price that you would expect it sells at. Then we started seeing a trend more recently. We list at the higher price first. If that doesn't work and you're tired of waiting as a seller and you need to kind of get that sale on, then you're relisted now at the offer night price. Well, that's what's happening. A lot of these properties have been relisted at the lower price and then sold, and that's where the sold over asking percentage is starting to go up, not down. 101 were listed. Active listings for Mississauga detached properties is increasing. So look at months of inventory. Now, remember what happened. Active listings, the amount of properties not being sold, that's increasing. Sales took a nosedive, so sales are way down. Months of inventory, the amount of properties we have on the shelf basically ready to buy at the current level that we're buying, we've got almost 2.5 months, 2.4 months of inventory. As months of inventory go up, you will see prices coming down, and we're approaching a balanced market. And there's going to be certain neighborhoods across Mississauga that'll definitely feel like you're in a balanced market where sellers no longer have the advantage. Here's Brampton. Huge, huge, more than half, more than 50% drop in sales. 32 detached properties were sold across Brampton. One of those was at $2 million or more, only one. Average sold price came way down, more than $100,000 drop in average sold price to $1,237,000. 1237 is still 2% higher than where we were a year ago. Median price is 8% lower than where we were a year ago. And price has been trending down, not so aggressively, although median price has been coming down a lot more aggressive than the average sold price has. Of the 32 that sold, 59% sold at list price or more. 173 were listed. Active listings is climbing. We're now at 618 active listings. So remember what's happened here. Sales, massive drop. Active listings, more properties available for sale. Months of inventory, through the roof. We're sitting at 4.5 months of inventory. It was increasing, then straight up almost. It more than doubled just in 1 week. Well, sales halved in 1 week. So that only kind of makes sense. If sales go in half, the amount of properties we have, how quickly will we buy them up? Well, that will double if sales drop by half, right? So we'll see what happens over the next few weeks, but this is a very interesting week we have ahead of us here. Here's Durham. Now for Durham, I'm using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as my Durham sample. 44 detached properties were sold, which is way down from the previous week. One of those was at $2 million or more. Average sold price sitting at $1,210,000. Now I circled this group because this price way up here of little over 1.3 kind of seems abnormal, seems out of the ordinary for the Durham region. And that 1 week, we had 5 properties selling at $2 million or more. So if we ignore this up here, it kind of seems that this kind of makes sense. Hovering around 1.2 would be more of a truer average sold price for Durham right now. Well, 1,210,000 is 5% higher than where we were a year ago. The median price is basically zero. I know these are rounded numbers. It says 0%. It's actually up. It's 0.4% compared to where we were last year. But prices very slightly have been trending down for the Durham region. Of the 44 that sold, 75% sold at list price or more. That percentage is still high. 102 were listed. Active listings is gradually increasing. Months of inventory jumped up a bit to 1.5. Now, 1.5 is still low. It's still a seller's market. But for Durham region, when we used to be sitting at 0.4 and 0.5, 0.6, 1.5 is going to seem like a whole other world in the Durham region. Here's condos. This is for all of Peel region. 38 condos were sold. 2 of those were at $1 million or more. Average sold price came down a little bit from the previous week, sitting at $647,000. 647 is 1% higher than where we were a year ago. Median price is 1% lower than where we were a year ago. And prices, to me, for condos in Peel, for the last 2 months or so, they seem kind of steady. They go up, they go down, but not by very much. Of the 38 that did sell, 29% sold at list price or more, less than a third. So that's pretty low. 104 were listed. Active listings is climbing. We have 488 condos available for sale right at midnight, July 5th. And months of inventory, 3 months of inventory. We are definitely there, right at the border of a balanced market. And seeing how prices have really not moved very much, the whole feel, the whole attitude, your mindset should be condos across Peel region is pretty much a balanced market right now. Here's a quick summary. Mississauga, borderline, just approaching a balanced market. Brampton, definitely in. Ajax, Pickering, and Whitby, not there yet, but it's going to feel a lot like it because of how low months of inventory used to be. And condos across Peel, balanced market territory. This is where we are. It's a huge, huge change from where we used to be just a few months ago. But sales have taken a massive hit. Let's see if over the next few weeks, sales pick up maybe, but we are headed into a more sluggish time of the year. July and August is seasonally slower, softer than the other parts of the year, or especially of the previous few months leading into July and August. And we got the Bank of Canada playing around with things out there, messing with everybody's head and everybody's affordability. Let's see what happens. Stay tuned for the, right after this is the luxury multifamily home. Thanks for watching. Welcome to 4027 Bloor Street West in Etobicoke. Before I show you the inside of this home, let me tell you what makes it so unique. It has in all 8 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. It has 9-foot and 10-foot ceilings. Each room has its own individual climate control. These are all luxury features you would expect from a custom-built home. But what really stands out in this home is that it was designed from the very beginning for 2 families to live separate and independent of each other, both above grade. Let me start by showing you the principal residence. So this is the principal residence. Including the finished basement, you have 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, about 3,000 square feet. So here's the finished basement. It has 10-foot ceilings, an entertainment area, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a private walk-up to the backyard. So this is the private, self-contained, luxurious secondary suite with 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Have a look.